Let's get ready to remake! I am Mike McG from YouTube's Mike McG TV. Rosebud. And the Three Geeks podcast and I officially welcome you to the ultimate movie nerd and fan competition.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Prepare for the remake revolution.
Here we go.
Teams battle it out for geeky dominance as their movie reboot and remake ideas face judgment. Each team's idea lives and dies by 4 specific categories. They are story pitch,
I'll be back.
writers and directors,
I am Iron Man.
casting,
I am your father.
and marketing.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
When all is said and done,
One shall stand, one shall fall.
There can be only one.
and the world shall know whose remake is truly revolutionary. The remake revolution begins now.
Mr. Dan, well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Remake Revolution, Remake March Madness event, Game 2, Round 1. We have Staunchcast versus Some Nobodies on the movie Cape Fear. How you feeling, Mr. Dan, our judge today?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Every time I hear that intro, it just sounds cooler and cooler.
I know Mike did a great job. Mike, if you watch this, you did wonderful. Really proud of you.
Yes, yes, indeed.
We're going to let both teams kind of introduce themselves one at a time here. We're going to bring on Staunchcast first.
Hey, what's up, enemies?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, everybody?
How's it going? So, kind of tell us about yourselves. Give us a little introduction to Staunchcast.
Brian, you go first.
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm a comic book creator. I have one of my comic books is, there you go, Staunch Ambition. It's a supernatural sci-fi. What if in our future we entered the supernatural through advanced technology? And that's I got 3 issues out of that issue or book and a preview issue, and then now I'm working on issue 4, which is going to be a double-size issue, and I'm going to compile all the issues together into a season 1 trade. And this last issue is just fun, great. It's the whole story comes together, character arcs and whatnot. And as you can see, and probably you'll prompt up there, I did Secret Wars. Oh wait, no, Infernal City Firehouse, which is a book of true stories. I took true stories from real Detroit firefighters, combined them together into a narrative, and put that together. Stories from my grandfather. I did ride-alongs with firefighters, influenced by stories from my childhood and firefighters I knew growing up. So
Awesome.
And I'm John Orlando, the man behind the PVD Cast. It's my own personal podcast where I talk about movies, comics, hockey, wrestling. Been doing it for 8 years now. And also, too, I am one of the co-hosts of the Matt Talk podcast, which, of course, is the only Matlock related podcast on the planet. Every couple of weeks, my partner Jason and I, we watch an episode, we review it, we discuss it, we poke a little fun at it, and it's a blast. So you should check it out as well.
Nursing Home Killer, Matt Talk.
Yes.
Cool.
Right below COVID. COVID is the number one killer.
No.
Number 2 is Matt Talk.
You look really
get
tired,
these guys
Matt.
out of here. I'm not loving Brian with that statement.
I gotta kill the spider, guys.
All right, let's get Staunchcast out of here. John, you're dead to me. Some Nobodies.
Okay, well.
Yeah, sorry, Dan.
Oh,
Brian just actually left. That was kind of great.
How do we follow that up?
I don't know.
Pretty easily, actually.
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah. Just don't bring up COVID deaths.
Yeah. Solid decisions.
Yeah.
All right, tell us about you guys in your podcast.
Yeah, so we are Some Nobodies. Obviously, as you can read, my name's Zach. This is Dylan. We created this group, Some Nobodies Media, where we have about 12 podcasts, most of which are fictionalized and scripted / improv based. We have a couple TV shows. One is called Talking Upstream, which is on IBM TV, as well as obviously our channel, where we interview creatives who have made movies, and then we help create something with them. We have a live version, as you're seeing right now, on Twitch called Twitching Upstream, where we just go live and we create some stories with people that just send comments. As they write them, we throw them into the story and try to create, some kind of weird idea with that. But we have a bunch of stuff. We have a new review show called The Real Boys, which we literally just recorded that before we came on here. We do a whole bunch of stuff, but you can see all of our stuff at somenobodies.com. That's where all of our stuff is. We're filming a movie right now called Give Me Back, which should be done filming this weekend, hopefully. But a lot of stuff, but Some Nobodies is where you can see all of our weirdness.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great.
And that's Dylan.
Hi. Zach talks mostly. I'm the guy behind the scenes usually.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, then let's bring Staunchcast back out here, and we'll get this remake revolution kicked off.
It's kind of weird, guys. It's nice to actually kind of meet you. We've been talking so much trash, and I don't even know you guys.
Yeah, it's fine. I paid as much attention as I do to the bug that hits my windshield.
Dang!
Nice.
What's the last thing that went through that bug's head?
My windshield.
It's asshole.
Oh.
Took it.
Dude. All right, we're going to remake Cape Fear. And let's do the Some Nobodies go first. And we're going to start with the pitch of the movie. What do you got?
Right. So, we wanted to remake it, not completely redo it. So there's a little bit of a twist here. So I'm just going to read this out loud. Sam Bowden is an attorney specializing in prosecuting superpowered individuals, or supers, in the greater Wilmington, North Carolina area. He has a loving wife, Lee, and a precocious toddler daughter, Danielle. He also secretly possesses superpowers, but he's more focused on the law right now. Sam is currently prosecuting supervillain named Cape Fear for a particularly brutal rampage where he buries evidence which could have lightened the man's sentence, but the murder of the local heroes means that Sam is not pulling any punches. Cape Fear swears vengeance before he's dragged from the courtroom and sent away after the jury finds him guilty after less than a half hour of deliberation. About 15 years later, Sam has become disillusioned with the criminal justice system's methods for dealing with superpowered criminals and spends his night as a costume vigilante named Clerical Error. His daughter, Danielle, also exhibits superpowers, but Sam is careful to keep her from exposing them to the wider world, both to avoid the attention it would bring to her and because he still serves during the day as a prosecutor for supers. Now, Sam's firm, it's been 15 years, he's become a partner after that slam dunk Cape Fear prosecution, is entering into a publicity campaign with an up-and-coming superhero named Brother Omicron. He's a little erratic, but he has a great public persona, and his PR is really top-notch. Edgy heroes are in, say all the talking heads on the news, and Sam's work in law means he's the handler, so to speak, for this new up-and-comer. We have a tense dinner scene and some weird interactions where Sam and Brother Omicron talk about their view on the ethics of superheroics, and there's some unsettling similarities and troubling differences between how they want to deal with the lawmakers who are above what we can physically deal with. Later that night, Sam's out on his nightly patrol as Clerical Error. When he comes across Brother Omicron, the two have a mask-to-mask conversation where more issues are brought to light, and we see some more similarities between their hard-edged justice fists. Brother Omicron starts making publicity appearances, notably at Danielle's high school, where he ingratiates himself to her and her other friends who are seniors. Danielle does let slip to him that she has superpowers, but her dad doesn't let her practice much, which Brother Omicron says is kind of dumb, or something to that effect. Danielle becomes increasingly dramatic. She has more outbursts. Sam and Lee start to worry about her as she spends more nights out late with her friends, she says, but she's really doing vigilante excursions and networking with the other heroes in the area. Meanwhile, Sam's work with the firm is putting him in increasingly close contact with Brother Omicron, and his nightly patrols find him crossing paths with him again. He lets slip that he knows Brother Omicron is trying to push superheroics on high school kids, which he doesn't think is safe, and they get into a fight. Sam realizes this new hero is actually Cape Fear, released from prison, and Cape Fear realizes Clerical Error is Sam. They escape each other's pursuit, but it's pretty clear that Sam is outmatched if it comes to a fist-to-fist fight. Sam immediately tries bringing Cape Fear's identity to the attention of the local Wilmington superhero team, But Cape Fear's PR and last few years entrenching his identity in the local publicity has really kind of entrenched his like do-good reputation. They dismiss Sam, but junior level member Kick Slice finds him in the hallway and tells him that he believes him due to a previous encounter he had with Cape Fear back in the day. Sam says he'll put Kick Slice in touch with Clerical Error and they can hunt down Cape Fear together. Later that night, Clerical Error and Kick Slice run into Cape Fear and his sidekick, who is actually Danielle in her new superhero identity. They get into a fight. Clerical Error and Danielle have to hash it out somewhere because he comes clean. He realizes it's his daughter, and they have to really kind of deal with it. Meanwhile, Cape Fear brutally murders Kick Slice and decides that this is it. He's going to hunt down Sam Bowden and his family once and for all. Screw this whole sidekick thing. Meanwhile, Sam and Danielle reconcile. They go to their house to start their defenses. Cape Fear follows them to their home. There's a home invasion scene where he breaks through their defenses, and it's really not like a big deal. He kills their dog, which can talk thanks to their technological stuff. It's like their talking animal sidekick. Sam tries to hold him off, doesn't go very well, and he manages to escape down to the dock where they board their boat and get out into the water, but Cape Fear follows him out, and another fight ensues. Looks like it's going to go bad for Sam and Danielle, but then they team up, and they bring him down. Of course, later, when they get back to shore, the only thing they can find, they don't find the body, but they find the helmet that Brother Omicron wore and a scrap of cloth. And as they get back to their life and things kind of start getting back to normal, they start to realize, as the storm abates, the only thing they have to fear is Cape Fear itself. The end.
God dang it.
Yeah.
It was great. I just couldn't handle the last sentence. Cool. Mr. Dan, do you have any questions for our Some Nobodies?
No. I think that was quite clear.
I do want a whole book of comic book hero names from you guys.
Yep.
We're already on it.
Young, daughter typo. Yeah. All right. How about let's have the Staunchcast kick off their plot?
All right, Brian, it's all you.
Okay, so well, we didn't, untypical for Staunchcast, we didn't want to go off into a completely different direction with two great classics. So our twist is to make it something relevant to today's news and to today's woes. So Maxine Cady has been convicted of a heinous hate crime. After serving 14 years in prison, she is paroled and comes to a sleepy town of Essex. Maxine wants nothing more than to avenge her time in prison by terrorizing her former attorney, Leah Bowden. Maxine will stop at nothing to earn her revenge, from threatening their youngest daughter, Danielle, to attempting to dredge up Leah's past infidelity and her flirtatious relationship with Larry Davis, to victimizing her husband, Sam Bowden. No matter what the Bowdens try to do, they try getting a restraining orders, send a PI to rough up Maxine. Nothing seems to work. It is only in the end they try to escape up to the Cape Fear into their houseboat that Leah receives a piece as Maxine is impaled by the boat wreckage as they wrestle down the water and disappears into the water.
So yes, this is probably not what Dan and Justin expected, but trying to go a different route here on this one. Since it is a classic, it's hard to do. Both versions are classics.
Yeah, we're taking a serious route where this is dealing with actual hate crimes, and this the whole tension is between the villain as a female and is going up against she's just like psychotic female that has committed some heinous hate crimes in the past. So it would be something that would be really relevant today. And the Cape Fear is such a gut-wrenching story where you got this guy, especially the scene in the theater where he's talking to their daughter, and your stomach's just turning with this creepiness. And so we wanted to capture that creepiness today, but different than obviously the Scorsese version. So I think what would be really creepy is just some freaking psycho that just has some kind of a racial sickness and hatred.
Okay. Two totally different pitches, and I love that. I love we have very creative, different things. Mr. Dan, any questions, comments, anything for the Staunchcast?
How are you bringing out the hate crime violence with the family?
Well, first of all,
is it a racial thing or is it a?
We are going to reenact the horrible sexual assault that occurs in the original. This time, though, however, it's going to be between Larry Davis, who is going to be played in a more what's the word I'm looking for? Like a more like
macho, toxic,
chauvinistic, yeah,
very
definitely.
chauvinistic kind of a character.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't come up front when he's victimized by Maxine, because he's such a egomaniac, masculine, he's too proud to admit that he's been victimized by a woman.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought you said Larry David for a minute, and I was like, this is a totally different movie. we pivoted. All right, cool. Mr. Danny, any other questions?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, Staunchcast, what do you have for writer and director?
Brian,
writer director. For the writer, we're going to get Quentin Tarantino for his love of classic movies, great acting, homages to the classics, cameos,
violence.
Yeah, definitely the horror and the violence of this movie. We're not doing anything comical here. This is going to be straight up, gut wrenching, creepy freaking movie, and it has to be, because if you're going to redo this classic, it's got to be gut wrenching. So Quentin Tarantino's at the helm writing, and then we got the director Jordan Peele. So Jordan Peele's stamped his fame. There you go.
My God,
that is Jordan Peele.
Is that his eyes? That's real eyes like this. Did you find a doctor? Holy cow! That poor man.
Someone got a car battery hooked up to his testicles or something.
That's a rough image for him.
It's Quentin Tarantino. He does that just casually.
That's fair.
Yeah. Beat
old David Carradine.
No.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
But then the director will be Jordan Peele, who would be able to bring a nice, edgy, creepy, dark feel to the movie. Yes, exactly.
The face
exactly
of
the kind of feel you want.
Really setting the mood with these pictures. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's working really well. All right.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just waiting for Some Nobodies.
Oh, sorry.
Writer director.
No, I'm sorry. Were you guys done?
No, you're good.
Done? We didn't really kind of lob it over to Some Nobodies. Please, writer and director, Some Nobodies.
Yeah. Okay, so for writer, what we did was we had we formed a partnership between some of our favorite writers. So we had Brian K. Vaughan, who has a lot of expertise in comic book writing, especially when it comes to the emotions of family matters inside the comic book writing. And we also had the script being touched up by Jack Schaefer, who is obviously the lead writer of WandaVision, who can get into trauma and who can really get into emotional distress as well as aggressively overpowered things. As far as the director goes, we thought that James Gunn would be the best bet for this. With his work on movies like Super, we know that he can work in a very small budget. We know that he can take things like super powered things, put emotion to it, keep the little bit of comedy, but also severe heart. Yeah. We also have somebody doing a soundtrack and score. I wasn't sure if we were supposed to do that or not.
Not yet.
Nope.
Not
Okay,
yet.
cool.
Soundtrack is usually a tiebreaker.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Leave it.
Gotcha.
Wink.
Yeah. Cool. All righty. Let's do cast. So Some Nobodies. Give us your cast.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
No. So casting wise, we kind of went across the board on this one. For Sam Bowden, we wanted someone who could portray that kind of physicality of a crime fighter while also being in the courtroom, and that is Christopher Maloney from Law and Order SVU.
Ooh.
Probably some recent pictures of him have him with a really big mustache and beard. Probably have him do that, look really tough. His wife, Lee, would be played by Juliette Lewis as like a casting gag because she was the daughter, Danielle, in the 91 film. So we have her be the mom in this one. Is kind of like, look, we know what we're doing, but it's also different enough. The daughter, Danielle, is played by Haley Steinfeld because she's really big right now. And, you know, she's good at doing kind of like that action. She's good at doing a lot of physicality on screen she would need to do. Kick Slice is Timothy Chalamet because he's really hot right now. And then
very hot. Very hot.
Yeah.
Zoolander.
Perfect. The mocap for the family dog would be provided by Sean Gunn because that's what James Gunn does. And then Cape Fear himself, or Max Cady, would be played by David Desmalkian, he is playing Peter DeVries in the upcoming Dune adaptation. He was one of the very, very minor characters in the Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight. He's the Arkham Asylum patient who Harvey Dent ties to the chair in the alleyway. Does a really good job of being kind of creepy, but also personable. He's playing Polka Dot Man in the upcoming The Suicide Squad, so we figured we'd keep him going on the superhero role. And I don't think there's anyone else to really cast in our version of it. I think we got those 6.
Yep. Cool, great, thank you, Mr. Dan. You got any questions for him?
What was the last name of the Cape Fear actor?
Desmalkian.
I was trying to take notes.
David. Yeah. I'll
There
put
we
it
go.
in the chat for you.
Cool.
There we go.
Good deal. All right. How about Staunchcast? What is your cast?
Oh, well, our cast consists of Maxine Cady being played by Charlize Theron because she's played some emotionally devastating type of roles like in the movie Monster, but she also can bring the action, obviously with Mad Max, Fury Road. Lee Bowden is going to be played by Kerry Washington from Scandal and Django Unchained. We felt like she could bring a certain sensitivity as and kind of vulnerable as well to the role of Lee Bowden, since we're switching out Sam and Lee as the leads. Sam Bowden, we felt that Jason Bateman would be a good role for him since he's branching out, doing a little more serious stuff like with Ozark and whatnot. Danielle Bowden, we are going to cast Faith Herman. Of course, Danielle's the daughter. Faith Herman is from the show This Is Us. She plays one of the daughters. The next two are, much like they did in the 1991 version where they had Gregory Peck and they also had Robert Mitchum show up in this. We're going to do the same thing. Tom Broadbent, who of course is one of the partners in the law firm with Sam, is going to be played by Nick Nolte. And Lee Heller, the kind of creepy Colonel Sanders looking weird lawyer, is going to be played by Robert De Niro. Our last two, Larry Davis is going to be played by Giovanni Ribisi. And then Claude Kursick, the somewhat shady private investigator, will be played by Donnie Wahlberg.
Really? They're pushing the Wahlburger.
Well, of course, and those new cars.
Right. Cool. Mr. Dan, you got any questions?
No, I think the casts are pretty good.
Cool. All right, we're off to marketing. Staunchcast, you're up.
Okay, our marketing. Look, this is a film that we really didn't know how to market it because, to be honest with you, it's such a classic, and because it is some heavy-duty subject material, we feel that we're going to go with the traditional marketing plan, where we're going to have our stars hit the talk shows. Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert and all those type of folks. We're going to have television ads. We're going to have advertising on the internet, radio, ads in newspapers. We're going to do.
Keep in mind, it's going to be very vital on many talk shows because, we're dealing with interracial marriage and whole race issues that is just nothing but freaking on the news almost 24 hours a day. So they're going to want to have it on the show and talk about it. So that's going to be a big part of the marketing, is just the fact that it's about such a serious subject. So
And the other aspect to the marketing is that it will already be contractually obligated with the studio that 30% of all proceeds will go to help those individuals who've been victims of racism, victims of injustice, victims of hate crime, as a way to kind of give back to the community.
Awesome. I love that thought. Anything else to add?
All right.
Cool. Mr. Dang, any questions for the Staunchcast marketing?
No, I don't think so.
Cool.
What's your poster gonna look like?
Dramatic. Actually,
I mean, come on, guys.
It'll be done by it. Actually, I can answer that because I think it would only be fitting enough that the poster be done by, of course, Stephen Ross, Bob Ross's son. I think that's a very beautifully painted posters. I think that's the way it has
sure
to
about
be.
This
Pretty little happy little
exactly.
Cape Fear have pretty little trees and
Yeah, of
and happy
course.
little clouds and
Uh-huh.
okay.
Yep.
Cool. I can get behind that.
All right.
All right. Some Nobodies. What's your marketing pitch?
Okay, for advertising and marketing, what we did was we have a Walmart tie-in backpack and school supplies because this is obviously a going back to school thing as well as everything else. We're going to have Denny's character cup and a meal. Similar to the mistake that Batman Returns made back in the early 90s, we're going to have a Wendy's tie-in that kids don't understand because this movie is not really marketed to kids. We're going to have a side comic prequel that you can only get up monthly. We're also going to have an animated series on Roku Prime and Paravision Plus, which are two stations that we're creating to make sure we can push this, similar to the way HBO Max did with the Snyder Cut. For marketing, what we decided to do was we're actually going to mismarket an ad and give away the twist, which gets nerds thinking there's more Easter eggs because James Gunn's good at that. And they're going to go into it similar to how the Sonic mess up was. And we're going to have a big super push.
We're gonna reveal that Brother Omicron is Cape Fear in the trailer, so that way people think there's more to it and they go to see the final product.
Yep.
And then they're like, oh, and then they make all their Reddit threads and it gets a whole bunch of karma and stuff like that.
As far as a poster goes, it's going to be an orange and blue image. Sam's going to be in the middle. Brother Omicron's looking over his shoulder, large over everybody. And the rest of Sam's family is obviously looking suspiciously small in front of him.
Okay.
Is the pitch for Some Nobodies make sure they leave unhappy? Like, is that?
No, if you watch James Gunn movies, they're about Easter eggs. They're about the thing you can't see in there. And nerds are going to get behind it. Nerds are going to start dissecting it, breaking it apart, and saying, I wonder why they did this. I wonder why they chose that. And it's going to become a cult phenomenon.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Mr. Dan, any questions for Some Nobodies?
No, I think they covered it. I like the color there with the orange and the white. I don't know why.
I love Roku Prime.
But I think we're gonna have to do soundtrack again. Yeah, that's a good one. It's gonna build their own streaming thing for a movie. It'll be fine.
If we're doing soundtrack, Some Nobodies, you are up.
All right. For soundtrack, we actually had James Gunn selects the diegetic soundtrack set in the early 2000s. As far as the score goes, it's going to be another compilation of Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, the team that did Watchmen and everything else. They have the most spectacular force, emotion, as well as action and vibrance to their music and to the ambiance that they can provide.
John's reaction makes me think someone in your soundtrack is in their soundtrack.
It's the main trailer song is going to be "Ain't No Rest for the Wicked" by Cage the Elephant, and it's going to play over like the intercut where it does that thing where all the trailer cuts match up to the bam down, and like they punch to the beat of the song, and then the gavel hits twice, and then classic trailer stuff.
Classic Gun trailer.
All right.
Cool. The gavel always knocks twice. I get it. I get it. All right, Staunchcast, what's your soundtrack?
Well, our soundtrack / score, because that's what we kind of just combined it as one, was also going to be done by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. So,
Sure.
It's inevitable.
We got
Yeah.
time-stamped emails to prove this. It's
Well,
right here in the
okay.
email.
Hold on. Before you keep going, it's probably good that you both picked Trent Reznor because that negates me not
Dan
liking him
hates
for
Trent
both
Reznor.
of you. I don't hate him.
Oh.
It just
Alright.
that's what everybody does. Is like, oh, he needs to be on the soundtrack. No, he doesn't. Okay. Anyway.
oh, so we
Continue,
should have just
Dan.
picked Iron Maiden? Is that what we should have done?
Yeah,
We should
yeah.
have-
I mean
No,
that
I
would have
wanted-
been.
I wanted to have
I-
Rob Zombie do at least one song for the movie. But
Yeah, Dylan asked for Ludwig Göransson, and I pushed it across for.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
oh.
Kind of glad you did. All right, we have.
Well, no. Let
Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
let them finish on their
Oh,
soundtrack.
okay.
there.
All right, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
I just had to
No,
yell,
I mean-
yell at the.
No, our score and our soundtrack were going to be one and the same. So it was going to be Ross and Reznor.
yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Maybe a song by Rob Zombie, but
What
All
if Rob Zombie pushes you over the edge? What if that was the one thing that did it?
I don't
The
know,
one
but-
song.
Well,
he would fit. He's got the chops to do the horror, something creepy.
It's random Jordan Peele. All right, Mr. Dan, do you need another category? Do we need to come up with another category?
Shit. Well, if we're both doing Trent Reznor, then yes. We need one. Fashion.
fashion?
Yeah.
You talk about
This is
fashion.
double overtime. We don't got a lot of
Costume
categories.
design?
Yeah.
Talking about costume design?
Yeah, costume design.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Costume design.
All right, and because we're going back and forth, that puts Staunchcast on the hot seat first. So enjoy the time, Some Nobodies.
Okay.
Costume design.
Clearly, we're going to sign a deal with Hot Topic to have Cape Fear T-shirts all over that store. I mean, everybody loves shopping at Hot Topic
Fashion,
to get all their
huh?
great, all their great rock shirts. So there you go, Cape Fear T-shirts exclusive at Hot Topic. We're even signing a deal with Adidas to do a Cape Fear sneaker.
Okay.
Okay, I want to
Hold on.
hire.
And instead of more marketing, like I was like, how are you
Yeah.
going to dress the characters and stuff?
I think we're gonna hire the costume designers from Breaking Bad because they would have the chops to pull it off. We want to have something that looks like a dark, modern, edgy look. So I think Breaking Bad would be, get some talent from that show. I mean, I don't have the names offhand because you just dropped this on us, but yeah, we could do something like that.
I still want T-shirts at Hot Topic.
Me too.
Okay, so
And then the
so you want
tattoos will be done by none other than who's the tattoo artist, John?
Coring Hart from Hart and Huntington Tattoos.
Gotta have the
James.
tattoos, man. The scene
Ami
with
James.
Charlize Theron where she's showing her tattoos off.
No. Anyways, Dan, is that good enough for you? We're gonna go with the Breaking Bad.
Okay, that'll work. That'll work.
All
All right.
Some Nobodies. Who's your costume for your movie? Who's doing it?
So
Does you, Dylan?
I guess so. So we're gonna get the costume designer for Kick-Ass to do a fair amount of it. We want it to be kind of lo-fi. It's not New York superheroes. These are people who have kind of thrown their own kind of anonymous costume together through stuff they can do. But the main character is a lawyer who is the partner at his firm. So when he dresses up, he dresses nice. But it's also set in the early 2000s. So you got a lot of those like dresses over jeans. You got a lot of like arm bracelets. You get a lot of like distressed denim. You get a lot of leggings as pants. That we really root it in the period of where we kind of set the movie. So that way you get a strong feeling about where things go. I think the fashion designer for Zach, you're better at names than I am. Who did Kick-Ass?
Sammy Sheldon.
Sure. We get if she worked on Kick-Ass, we get her.
Mhm.
A lot of those big kind of like chunky necklaces that girls wore back then. You could have the nerdy kid wear like a puka shell necklace and like really make them the butt monkey of all the jokes. Just kind of really root it in the early 2000s.
Sweet. I haven't heard the word butt monkey in a long time. I'm glad I heard that today. That was good.
Oh, there you go.
Mr. Dan, do you have any questions for either group?
No. No. I think
no. Do we have a
pretty
winner?
Pretty much good. Yeah, I think we do.
All
right. So for the pitch, I just wrote down superpowered lawyer man, and that was kind of enough for me. Although I do like the remake of Cape Fear, relevant to today's news and the hate crime and the angry twisted bowels feeling. I got to go with superpowered lawyer man.
Yeah.
And actually turning Cape Fear into a character it itself is pretty good. I got to go with that.
That was excellently done.
Well, thank you.
Now, as writer and director, I like James Gunn, like most everybody does, but I got to go with Jordan Peele. And Tarantino writing just kind of brings back, I don't know, the one movie with that dude and the prostitute and the thing that he wrote.
Talking about Pulp Fiction?
Classic.
No, the other one.
Pretty Woman.
Yeah, there you go.
Nailed it. It has to be it.
True romance.
Thanks, JT.
Jeez.
It's getting late. What do you want? All right. Okay. Yes.
I'm gonna have nightmares. Thanks.
Yeah.
I want to know if something's wrong with his eyes. That's all I care about. I worry about it.
His eyes always look weird.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But there's like something getting rammed up his ass in that picture or something. I don't know. All right. As far as the cast, I like that Some Nobodies bring a whole lot of like younger and lesser known cast members to this. Especially somebody playing Peter DeVries, because that's awesome. But I like the idea of the Nick Nolte, Robert De Niro cameo, which brought me over the edge for Staunchcast. Yes, and maybe some fried chicken. I don't know. I also like the addition of Giovanni Ribisi. That's cool. So that one went to Staunchcast. So we got marketing, which I like the idea of Denny's and Wendy's and a big push where you just do the whole movie thing. But I hate trailers like that, and I hate walking out of the theater, like and I'm like, shit, I just saw that all in the trailer. So it kind of has to go to Staunchcast, even though their marketing was just normal. I'm sorry.
The execs made us do it. It was the executives.
Yeah.
We had no control over that trailer.
And since you both failed out of the soundtrack, this is going to be funnier later. Just wait. So it all went down to costuming, which is a tough one because Staunchcast brought up tattoos at the end, which I kind of dig. It's outside the box. I got to give it. But then with the amount of detail that Some Nobodies gave, I have to give it to them. So it is Some Nobodies.
All right.
Yay!
All right.
Dylan,
Thank God.
Dylan and
God
Zach,
they
I would like to just say real quick, you two guys, real quick. Within literally the second sentence of your pitch, Dylan, I text Jason, was like, yeah, we've already lost.
Oh,
This is really good. We've already lost.
I appreciate that. I like the relevant Cape Fear, and Zach and I were just like,
Yeah.
what do we do? And then we hit on the Cape Fear as the name of a villain, and we're like, do we do a superhero episode? I guess we do a superhero episode.
We have already lost.
Yep.
Because we
would like
actually
to add.
thought about, and that was what the whole beast thing was. We were going to have Cthulhu rise up from Cape Fear and like destroy the town and
You
all
would've
that
won-
shit.
If Dan's your judge, you would have won that.
I know.
100%
That's
you
what I
would've won.
told Brian.
You
Guys.
don't remake
Look.
Cape Fear and you do it some ridiculous thing to be true. You need Jordan Peele, you need Quentin Tarantino, you need a real Cape Fear. Otherwise, you're just gonna get murdered. There's gonna be hate crimes on you.
Okay, I would like to point out that I picked Cape Fear as one of these movies because I really, really wanted somebody to make a pirate epic, and it didn't.
Oh,
Dang!
So,
We
One
don't
of
do
the
enough
original.
pirate stuff, Zach.
what's that?
We don't do enough pirate stuff. I don't think we've done a pirate episode.
No.
I pitched a musical, and I even started working on a song. My name is Max Cady. I didn't rape that lady. I'm Max Cady. You know, and just do a whole song.
where
and
is all of this
Can
in your
can we
pitch,
remove
man?
John again?
No.
Okay, that's the first time I heard that song, and I'm sorry.
Well, wait, because the best part is my girlfriend goes.
Wait, he's in sentence.
My girlfriend goes, wait a minute, Max Cady did rape that lady. That's why he's in jail. I'm like, yeah, but if he's singing a song about himself, he's not going to admit to it. So that's why he's going to say, I didn't.
Oh,
He does kind of
man.
toward the end.
wow.
All right. So how about
All
the
right.
Staunchcast? When talk kind of where can people find you?
You can find me at pvdcast.com, the online home of yours truly, where you'll get the weekly episode of the PVD cast. Thank you, Justin. And you know, also find me over at Matt Talk with Jason Taylor, reviewing episodes of Matlock every couple of weeks. I like that. That's good stuff. Nice. And you can find that over on anchor.fm/Matt Talk.
And you could find me out in the backyard picking up poop from what you know is the beast. And online, staunchambition.com. Everything's at staunchambition.com. Links to my social media, whatnot. I also have a website for Infernal City Firehouse. I have a website page for each one of those books, Staunch Ambition, Infernal City Firehouse. Got a new documentary movie coming out, cross-promoting with that. That's going to be coming out soon, called Florian Nights. Really excited about that, and excited to hear about you guys doing a film. I have to check that out when that comes. But so yeah, Staunch Ambition, Infernal City Firehouse. Next issue of Staunch Ambition is coming out in May, so the Kickstarter will launch in May. I'm just was texting Leah Jones. Thanks again to the Three Geeks, man, because she's still working on that music for the next issue. So I'm really excited for that. So
Awesome, cool.
Cool.
Thank you, guys. And how about Some Nobodies? Where can people find you?
Yeah, so we are Some Nobodies, and my name is Dylan. That's Zach in the hat. We do a lot of shows. We're doing a short film. You can find our shows. Talking Upstream is every Sunday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, where we interview creatives, and then we have a brainstorming session. We bring you into the creative process. We do a live version of that on Tuesday nights at 3:30 Mountain Time, which is a lot more based on like chat engagement and that sort of thing. We have a few different like fictional shows out there. We've got Silicon Angels, which are a sci-fi improv comedy show. If you go to our website, somenobodies.com, you can find the podcast, a podcast show, which is impossible to find elsewhere because we named it as name that doesn't show up when you search it because it's just a bunch of podcasts in the name. We didn't think that through. But
it's awesome though.
We screwed up. We review bad podcasts that we find in the wild and just do kind of like brief clips and talk about our recommendations. We've got some other stuff coming out. We've got like a choose your own adventure style podcast coming at some point.
Ooh.
We're just trying to drop that all at once. So we're just producing that all the way through. So it's taking a while. We've got a short film coming out called Give Me Back. You can find that online at our website as well. SomeNobodies.com. Did I forget anything, Zach?
Yeah, Give Me Back is actually a really cool story. We created this universe about like forced body swap and what can go on with that. So that's our short film we have. So we have a GoFundMe for that. Like Dylan said, you can find that on our website as well. But no, Dylan wrapped it up. We got a bunch of stuff. Some Nobodies.
Awesome. Well, congrats again to Some Nobodies for the victory. And it's been a pleasure from all of us here.
I just got to say, I'm kind of disappointed in Dan's complete insensitivity to the issues going on in the world today. So
Shots fired.
It's a devastating blow to humanity.
I never would have guessed
heard
it was so
you rant about film media, sir. Come on.
And obviously, if there's someone that can write about race relations, get Quentin Tarantino to do that. So that's
that's
a good choice. So.
I'm sure that's great.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This is the Three Geeks, and this is Remake Revolution.
And that's our show, everybody. Thanks for listening. I am Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob. We always appreciate you guys tuning in and commenting along and everything else. Go check out this show or any of our other shows on thescenesnobs.com. Thescenesnobs.com. We love you. You guys are awesome. And if you would like, follow and subscribe to our social media. That really helps us go a long way. And please spread the word. Tell your friends. Have them come in. We love feedback and everything else. So everybody, you have a great day. Again, thanks for listening. Thescenesnobs.com. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.